So I'm here today again with another Ask Me Anything question from someone in my community. So Sally writes, "Hi Lindsay, I've heard lots of people say that there isn't anything wrong with us, inverted commas, wrong with us. There is nothing to fix and that we are always okay. Whilst I love the idea that this is true, I struggle to believe this when I can't stop binging. It's detrimental to my health and well-being. How can this not be something that needs to be fixed? How can there not be something wrong with me?" So this is a fabulous question and one that I personally really struggled with. So when I came across this understanding that I now use in my coaching, it was almost one of the last bits of it that I really kind of saw for myself, because I just struggled to not see that there wasn't something wrong with me. So I'm going to use a visual to describe this, because I think it's an awful noise, because I think it might be more helpful to see it this way. So I'm going to turn that around. There we go. So here we have a lovely human being, so me or you. And all day, every day, we have thought streaming into us and through us. So we think all of the time, we have the energy of thoughts, we have sort of like thoughts, our cognition that we're aware of, or I need to go to the toilet, or I feel a bit hungry. And then we've also got lots of unconscious thinking that passes through us. And we've got lots of kind of vague thinking, then lots of thinking that we just don't even hear at all. So we've constantly got this energy running through us, and that's what we are feeling all day, every day. This energy of thought is bringing a feeling with it. So we could sort of label all of this our psychology, and for the purposes of this video, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it our psychology. So this is where we have feelings of love and thoughts of joy and thoughts of peace, and then also thoughts of anxiety and worry and depression and anger and everything passing through us. So that's our psychology. And then there's also another part to us, which is when we're really focused up here on listening to our psychology, can be harder for us to be in touch with and to feel. But there's another kind of essence or layer, or it's actually quite hard to talk about, but another kind of sense within us that when this quietens down, it's just a peaceful, calm, okay place. And it's where we actually reset to all day long. So we have thinking that comes in and it kind of goes up and down like this. It might be quite peaceful, then it might get a bit raggedy when we're angry about something or thinking about it, and then it flows on through. But there's always something else going on as well. So when Sally asked this question of, so all things like habits and addictions and difficult emotions, they all live in the psychology. And this is the bit that we get really fixated on fixing. This is the bit that doesn't feel okay. So when a difficult emotion comes along and binge eating comes along in response to that, this looks like the bit that needs to be fixed. So, and I've got lots of videos that talk about thought and about not needing to fix it, but for the purposes of this, and you can insert anything into there, if it's smoking, drinking, or just a feeling, anxiety, worry, stress, depression, overwhelm, anything that comes along that we don't like and that we think needs to be fixed is all up here in our psychology. And it's always moving and it's always changing, but then we also get into habitual patterns with it. So when we've got something like an addiction or a habit like binging, or if we tend to worry or we're struggling with depression, that's when this psychology gets very habitual. And what we do is innocently, so I'm putting little arrows upwards, is we're focused all of the time on what is going on in our psychology. And of course, when this is passing through, if it's uncomfortable, it looks like who we are and it looks like it needs to be fixed. But what this understanding is looking at is that what if this psychology isn't who we are? What if that isn't the sum total of a human being, which is what we can think, I'm a depressed person, I'm an anxious person, I'm an addicted person, I'm a joyful person, all of it is all talking about the psychology, our experience of life, what's flowing through us. But what if the psychology isn't who we are? And what if there's another bit of us, and it's not obviously up here, down there, but for the purposes of this picture, we're going to do that. What if there's another space through which all of this psychology passes that is always okay. So when you hear, Sally, this understanding of there's nothing to be fixed, there's nothing broken, what it's really talking about is that there's this space within you to which we always can return that is totally okay, totally filled with peace and resilience and knows what to do, that has nothing to do with our psychology, nothing to do with it whatsoever. And so this bit is our innate nature, if you like, our innate wisdom, our well-being, our okayness. It's just what we're born with. So when you look at babies, this is very clear. They've got this stuff passing through, but they just return to this set point. And very small children as well. It's very easy to see them in that. They have a temper tantrum, and then they're back to this joyful, happy place. And this is true of adults, but it just kind of gets a bit conditioned out of us. And we get conditioned to looking up here, focusing up here, trying to fix up here, and we believe that this bit, this psychology, is who we are. And I think, Sally, when people say there's nothing to fix, and it's something that I strongly believe now, there is nothing to fix, is because this isn't who we are. This is just experience passing through us. This is our responses to life. And this is always changing, always flowing, always moving. How can it be who we are if it's just fluctuating the whole time? When who we really are is much more stable and grounded and is filled with okayness, if you like. So really just innocently, we are looking upwards at this and believing who we are, when really we should be, it's not actually downwards, but looking inside of us to this part of us. What if this is who we really are? Not this. Now, in order to actually feel this in your life and for this to have it's utterly liberating. It's pure liberation when you know this to be true. But you really have to look. Like, you can't just listen to me or other people who also teach this or explore this. You have to look for yourself. What if this is true? That yes, there's lots going on in my psychology. There's lots of thought and feeling and sensation and experience flowing through me all of the day. But as soon as this quietens down even a little bit, there's just a sense of peace and quiet and okayness. Nothing to fix, no problems. All problems are in the mind. All things that need to be fixed. I must be this, I should be that. I need to be thinner, I need to be fatter, I need to be richer, I need to be smarter. All of that lives in the psychology. It's transient, it's moving. It's nothing to do with us most of the time. And even that doesn't need to be fixed because it's always moving. Now, the beauty of it is, as I have found in my experience, is the more that we know this is the case, this is who we are, this actually quietens down. The less we pay attention to it and innocently feed it and believe all of the stories of the mind that go on here, the more that we know that, the more that we know this is here, this is where we return to, this is what we can rely on, this naturally quietens down. So just to summarise, when people are feeling like they need to fix themselves and are feeling not good enough and feeling not okay, that's because they're innocently believing that all of their psychology and their experience passing through is who they are. And when people are talking, what I think most people are saying, certainly what I'm saying, when I say there is nothing to fix, you are not broken, you are absolutely good enough just as you are, that's because there's another space within you, another energy, essence, whatever you want to call it within you, that's always okay and is always there, it doesn't go anywhere. And that if the more we focus here, the less this can pull us about and drag us around and make us feel awful. So just, if this is something that you've thought about or you struggle with, then just have a look to see. Just have a look to see, is this true? Don't ever take anything I say or anyone says to be the truth. You know, the real power is looking for yourself, as I have done, looked for myself, and I've seen this to be true for me. But really, it's just about the looking. So I hope that this is helpful. Please do like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to receive notifications when new videos come out, which is a couple of weeks. And thank you so much for listening and watching and being a lovely fellow human being. Bye bye.